When we moved here in December 2020, the biggest challenge I think was getting the planning permission, and that took over a year.
Both of us wanted it to be as ecologically sound as possible, both in the materials that we were using, the type of construction, and then to make it as easy to manage and to run as possible. So the energy efficiency and all of that was there as a desire from the start.
I'm quite a safe person, so for me this whole thing was a little bit like walking off a cliff. Josh, our architect, took us to see George's house. At that point, everything was on paper. Everything was in Josh, the architect's head. There was nothing like concrete. And actually walking into George's house and looking at it was just beautiful. And suddenly how achievable that was.
I think it was the style of the house. It feels like a calm house and very relaxing.
We unashamedly stole quite a lot from George's house. We just loved the clay finish on the walls, the ceiling. It was very hard for me to see how it was going to work initially, I think. Josh's visualizations when he was doing the designs helped me a lot, because then I could just, go, all right, I can see how it's going to work now. To build the house,
took 9 months.
Broke the ground on the 10th of January. And we moved in the same year at the end of September, so about 8 months. The site used to be a pub garden.
We think it's just under an acre in total.
It was very overgrown, especially where the house is at the moment. It was very jungle-like.
The hazel tree, which the house is now named after, in the outline planning permission, they had cut that down and put the house directly on top of it. And it was like, yeah, I don't want to do that, really. That's the thing we don't want to do. Laying the floor was the biggest challenge for the builders.
On the day of the pour, we could only get a small cement truck up here. Then we got a phone call saying, oh, the cement works has broken down. But the problem was there was a 4-hour delay between the second pour and the final pour. So how that resulted, the guys who were doing the polished floor came at 4 o'clock in the morning to polish it, because that was the optimum time to do it.
The Isaac raft for the foundations, the concrete that was laid is the downstairs floor, and then it's a timber structure, I-beams, and then it's got wood fibre inside and outside, and then blown cellulose within the gaps. It passed very well on its airtightness and everything else.
Josh's concept of the house was a nut opening up, so you have the black exterior, and as the front porch opens up, then it shows you the wood cedar, so it's like a nut opening up. So it was either going to be hazel tree house or hazelnut house, but we thought people might just shorten it to nut house.
You would shorten it to nut house.
Yeah, definitely.
So we weren't.
So we went for hazel tree house.
It's black tin on the roof and on the back of the house, and then it goes to cedar cladding on the front. And to begin with, I was really, can I cope with black? And then we're very glad we did brave it. And in the end, it was just like, well, corrugated tin actually can look really good, and actually is a lot more cost effective. The internal design changed quite a lot in terms of our discussing things with Josh, but really the outside didn't change very much. We always did have an idea of having a feature window, and the round one was the thing that Ella said, and Josh tried to dissuade us.
So I was the ideas person, but didn't necessarily have to deal with the consequences. My experience of it was that it brought out people's creativity, because I think there was a bit of a headache of, well, how do you make the surround for ages? And there was loads of stuff about the metalwork being just extortionately expensive. People didn't want to do it. And in the end, our amazing builders just came up with a really simple wooden solution that worked perfectly.
Di and Ethan made a frame, a former for it, out of wood, and just sort of, really cut grooves so they could actually make this circle to make the frame, which is working.
It's an excellent feature. I think it really adds to the building, and it also gave us that sort of insight into everything is problem solving, everything is working things out, and we were able to achieve something that is beautiful, stunning, and sort of can be proud that we overcame that challenge, I think.
I think the favourite thing for me actually is this living space and how it functions, say at Christmas and when you're having gatherings of people. And it is what we wanted. You can be cooking and you can be getting meals together, but you're still part of what's happening. It feels very easy.
I think that it feels so beautiful. It really just makes me happy every time I sort of wake up in the morning and I come out and I look at the view and I just think, is this my life? Is this real?
And there's always a place that is maybe shaded, both inside and out, because the sun is moving through the house or across the house, then it'll pass from there, so then you've got the evening sun at the back. So there's always a place that you can either be in it or escape it if it's too hot.
It's really taught me to set clear values about a project that you go into. What I really admired was watching Mum and Dad from the beginning going, we're building a house with these values, with these standards, and we're going to assemble a team that embodies those and has an ethos around it. And because of that, the process was so smooth and just enjoyable. So it was much more of a collaboration rather than working. And I think that's taught me that, yes, that's applicable on a build, but that's applicable in so many parts of your life.
The thing that really amazed me was just how constant the internal temperature was, no matter what it was doing outside. Over the winter when it was -10 outside, it was 19 degrees inside, minimal heating. The only heating we have in the house built in are 2 towel radiators, one in the bathroom downstairs, one in the bathroom upstairs. If we need additional, then we've got a small electric oil filled radiator which we'll put on for an hour, but it doesn't need very much at all.